With the 68th pick in the 2009 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Jarron Gilbert, defensive tackle, San Jose State. The Cowboys.
I keep talking about talented guys that underproduce. Jarron Gilbert is one of the most talented players in this draft. Look at the size, 6'5", 288. Tremendous ability, didn't match his production. He's a boomer bust guy. He's going to the All-Pro, he's going to be an All-Pro, or he's out of the league in 3 or 4 years. He was a YouTube sensation, jumping out of the pool up into the deck. This is a guy with the length to play the 5 technique, the strength and quickness to play the 3 technique. The Chicago Bears have a guy, and remember, they need somebody to push the pocket and get to the quarterback. They only had 28 sacks a year ago, guys. And Jamie, you look at this pick, you know, he can push the pocket. They need to get to the quarterback.
Right now, Jay Cutler just got himself a new wide receiver, or at least the Bears hope. He's someone that can compete for a spot on their roster. Juaquin Iglesias out of Oklahoma is the wide receiver for the Bears.
And a very consistent possession receiver, about 6'1", 210. I put on the Kansas State tape. He had 12 catches. The run after the catch was phenomenal. Very consistent player. The speed was a question. He's a high 4.5 guy, but he understands how to separate. He's got very consistent hands. Watch him against press coverage. Sets the corner up, uses his body, now turns it on inside, finds the open space. He's not going to run away from you, but he's tough and he's consistent. Working man-to-man, comes back to the football. Now watch him work underneath, and again, separation. Really quick kid, but I think he's a very consistent player, and he will be a nice complement to Devin Hester.
Melton, the defensive end out of Texas, is the latest Chicago Bear. DJ Moore off the board finally, Mike Mayock, and he's the 5th Vandy player on the Bears roster right now. They love themselves some Tennessee in Chicago.
They're loading up on some intelligence, Rich.
And
well, when you give up the house for Jay Cutler, you better get him some ammunition. And Johnny Knox, the newest Chicago Bear, I had him in the 40 at 4.28 on my watch. Gets in and out of cuts, gets up the field vertically. A compliment to what they did a little bit earlier when they got Juaquin Iglesias from Oklahoma, more of a possession receiver. So now what the Chicago Bears have done is they said, Mr. Cutler, we got you a vertical guy that can get up the field, although I think he's more of a slot day one. We've also got Juaquin Iglesias. Jarron Gilbert, long, tall, powerful, and explosive defensive tackle, defensive end out of San Jose State. Henry Melton, an interesting guy out of Texas, started out as a running back, fullback, came over to the defensive side late in his career, tested extremely well. And DJ Moore, a guy I really like. Quick feet, great hands, wonderful ball skills, didn't run well, but he is the quintessential cover 2 corner.
Another Buckeye off the board, Mike. He is now a Bear.
After his Senior Bowl performance, I had given him a late 2 to mid 3 grade. The problem is, as a senior, he had both ankle and knee issues. I think that's what's forced him to drop into the 5th round. Excellent Senior Bowl and Combine. Plays that weak outside linebacker. Had over 100 tackles as a junior. His production fell off a little bit as a senior. Leverage on the tight end. What I like is the instincts. Understands the misdirection. Kept that outside arm and shoulder free barely, but still made the play. Here he is, coming in, blitzing, gets skinny. Talk about the ability to get skinny in a blitz cover, in a blitz, gets to the quarterback. What I think really happened here with the reasons he slid a little bit is because of the perceived questions about the injuries. The overall perception, though, day 2, remember, they didn't have a pick on day 1. They've addressed both sides of the football, a couple wide receivers, a nimble-footed corner, Marcus Freeman, who's a run-and-chase outside linebacker, and I really like what they've done so far, Rick.
After trading out of the game Saturday, the Bears dove headfirst into the NFL draft on day 2. 9 warm bodies coming in. We'll see how many of them, if any, can make an impact in their first seasons in Chicago. They begin in the 3rd round this morning, and they grab a defensive tackle, Jarron Gilbert out of San Jose State. If the Bears ever need anybody to jump out of a swimming pool, they got their man. He can do that, though, at 6'5" and 290. He should be able to knock some people down. They also get a high-profile receiver, Juaquin Iglesias out of Oklahoma, who led the Sooners in catches, yards, and return yards. And the Bears continue to lead the league in players from Vanderbilt, adding quarterback DJ Moore, a smallish guy who played 6 different positions at Vandy. What do they have now with Jay Cutler? 5 Vanderbilt players on the roster. This is the list from today. Gilbert and Iglesias previously mentioned. Another defensive end, Henry Melton out of Texas. Moving on to the 5th round, Johnny Knox, a receiver out of Abilene Christian. Ohio State linebacker Marcus Freeman is aboard. Also free safety Al Afalava from Oregon State. Lance Lewis, a tight end from San Diego State. And finally, another receiver, Derek Kinder from Pittsburgh. Jerry Angelo says the Bears spent wisely today.
All these players that we got, applicable to the rounds we took them, were very good values for us and very good players. It's not like, we were sitting there looking for the blue light on each one of them. That's not the case.
Without having a first or second round pick, we feel real good about all the players. You want to add athletic ability, you want to get faster, younger, all of that.
There's some guys that contribute right away, but in the defensive line, they'll play in a rotation. We got some good players here. Anytime you get a lot out of a rookie, it's a bonus.
Lovie Smith has the Bears rookies in camp at Lake Forest for their first taste of life in the NFL. Their first pick in round 3 is Jarron Gilbert. Figures to add depth to the defensive end position. He is 6'5" and 288 pounds out of San Jose State. With their second choice in round 3, the Bears took Juaquin Iglesias, a wide receiver from Oklahoma, who says has great hands going up the middle also. Both young men eager to realize their dream in the NFL.
I just want to fit in where I can and contribute the best I can. Tommy Harris is here, and they got a great D-line, great linebacker core. I'm just happy to be a part of it.
When you're in there and you're watching film, it kind of feels like another day, but then when you come out here and you see that Bears logo on side helmet, it's just more and more as the days go, the more and more it hits me.